Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this webinar for properly insuring your manufactured homes in Florida. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat box. I just want to make sure my microphone is working correctly. Okay. Looks like everybody can hear me. If you don't see anything on the screen, make sure you refresh your screen. You just need to refresh it to bring up the presentation if you currently do not see anything on the screen. Okay, so it looks like everybody can hear me. I'm going to give it just a few more seconds for everybody to get a chance to log on. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to keep this to 30 minutes. And unless we have a lot of questions. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us again. The reason we are doing this webinar is we've gone through our book and we found that we had some issues with some of our mobile homes did not have the proper coverages on them. And we did actually have some issues with claims claims that were not covered because some of the mobile homes were insured improperly. So we figured this would be a good refresher for all of you out there who are currently writing mobile homes, as well as people who maybe want to get started into mobile homes. A good start there so you feel more comfortable writing mobile homes or manufactured homes. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going
Stacy,
to ask that if you can hold your questions to the end, because it's difficult for me to read the chat box as I'm presenting. So if you can hold everything to the end, and it looks like some people can't hear me, make sure you turn up your volume, and let me just put in the chat box to check your speakers. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. It looks like there's a few people who can't hear anything right now. Hold on one second. All right, I'm going to try to turn up my volume. Okay, how about now? Okay, if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat box now. Okay, so we have some mixed. Looks like some can hear me fine and some cannot. Yeah, I'm turned up to the max, so I'm not sure why we're having some issues here. Okay, so it's about the same. Mitchell, do you want to go ahead and I can change the slides if you want to go ahead and speak?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I guess I can. Okay. Okay, as Stacy was saying, everyone, we had recently done an audit of our book, and it came to our attention that we realized there may be some issues with some policies not being written correctly with regards to properly scheduling the attachments. A common misconception is that our agents think, oh, excuse me. So we're going to do this and just get through it as quick as we can. It's going to be about 30 minutes, and I'm basically going to read verbatim since this wasn't, I wasn't prepped for this, guys, so just bear with me. So one common misconception is that our agents think that American Traditions is the homeowner writer and Modern USA is the mobile manufactured writer. This is incorrect, guys. Both companies offer the same products at the same rates. American Traditions began writing homeowner insurance in Florida back in 2006. By 2007, Modern USA was launched to bring additional writing capacity to our agents. So those of you, as you can see, we are currently celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. So that is some great news. Does everybody want me to whisper? Okay, so what is a mobile home slash manufactured home, ladies and gentlemen? The words mobile home, manufactured home, and even trailer are often used interchangeably to describe what is now more precisely called a manufactured home. A manufactured home is a dwelling which is built on an integral chassis in a factory, transportable in one or more sections, and which is 8 feet or more in width. All single-family mobile slash manufactured homes manufactured since June of 1976 must be built in accordance with the Manufactured Housing Construction and Safety Standards established in the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD, and must display a label certifying compliance. All mobile slash manufactured homes are required to be tied down in accordance with the specifications provided by the manufacturer. One of every 3 homes constructed in Florida is a mobile or a manufactured home. Let's talk about titles and registrations, ladies and gentlemen. In Florida, a manufactured home is a motor vehicle and requires a certificate of title as proof of ownership, just as a car or truck does. There is a separate title document for each section of the mobile slash manufactured home. There is one title document for a single wide and 2 title documents for a double wide. If you own the land on which your mobile home is located and the unit is permanently affixed to the land, you may declare the home to be real property and have it placed on the tax rolls of your county. Your taxes would then be paid in the same way a conventional homestead taxes are paid. If you rent the land on which your home is located, or if your home is not permanently affixed to your land, you must purchase and display a decal each year for each section of your mobile slash manufactured home. When available, review the title. Taking a look at the title of the mobile home will provide you with most of the information you will need to describe the mobile home, including owner's name and address, age of the home, width, length, vehicle registration numbers, serial numbers, location, recorded lien information, including names and address. You can also check out the county property appraiser's website. If the manufactured home is declared real property because the owner of the home also owns the land, you may be able to get information from the county property appraiser website. Many manufactured homes located in resident-owned communities will be viewable on the county property appraiser's website as well. Best practice is to always attempt to locate the address on the county property appraiser's search engine. Here are a few key questions to ask your client. What is the property location address? Whose name is the title listed in? Do you have a copy of the title? What is the age, length, width, make, and serial number of the home if the title is not available? Are there any quote-unquote add-ons attached structures, such as carports, sheds, garages, weather-tight rooms, screen rooms, porches, decks, utility rooms, metal awnings, etc.? Are there any unattached structures, such as a detached shed, a detached deck, detached utility room, detached garage, etc.? That was a lot of detaches, huh, guys? Now that you have your key information, let's talk about our policy forms. For units 16 to 30 years old at time of application, they fall into our Senior Standard Program, also known as the SSH. The SSH program is written on a comprehensive form and is actual cash value. There is no buyback for replacement cost on this dwelling. Be really careful with this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is where a lot of agents are getting caught right now. For units 1994 and newer that are located on private property, in a family park, or an approved subdivision, the comprehensive form is also used. For these programs, there is an option to buy back replacement cost on the dwelling and contents. Does everybody know what an approved subdivision is? Okay, just in case anybody does not know, it is a named subdivision zoned for mobile homes, but they allow site-built homes within the subdivision as well. So for those of you that did not know that, always check the county property appraiser's website and see if it is a named subdivision. Otherwise, for units 15 years and newer at time of application, they fall into the Signature Adult Program, also known as the SA. The SA program is written on an HO3 special form and is a replacement cost policy. Coverage A, your dwelling. Your Coverage A amount is determined based on the length and width of the unit. This does not include any attached add-on structures. This is the length and width displayed on the title. We have developed some guidelines that will assist you in providing an adequate Coverage A amount for the dwelling. Determine the Coverage A values. For those of you that have not used our mobile home program in the past or used our cost estimator, this is the cost estimator that we prefer you to use, and this is always available on our quick looks and on this PowerPoint. You can see based on the year built, we give you a price per square foot, i.e. 1975 to 1990 is $35 a square foot, etc. You all can see that we do give the option to add $5,000 to that amount. Be careful, guys, if you go above that, underwriting will memo you regarding that, so you can only go $5,000 above. As always, oh, sorry, Stacy. Coverage B, as always. Let's see, Coverage B, unattached structures. There is no coverage included in the base policy for any unattached structures. You can add coverage for unattached structures for up to 10% of the Coverage A amount. A description of the unattached structure is required. What are attached add-on structures? There is no coverage in the base policy for any attached structures, period. These structures are typically added to the unit once it has been delivered to the site. Add-on structures are all of those structures except skirting, steps, and railings, which are attached to the mobile home that do not meet all of the following criteria: a weather-tight and suitable for year-round occupancy, are serviced with the same heating and air conditioning as the rest of the mobile home, are subject to the mobile home title requirements of the state of Florida, the floor is at the same level as the kitchen and bathrooms. How do we schedule attached structures? The most common types of attached structures are carports, sheds, weather-tight rooms, vinyl rooms, screen rooms, utility rooms, metal awnings, and garages. You can schedule a maximum of six attached structures. Attachments added in 1994 or later can have a combined aggregate value of $25,000. Attachments added prior to 1994 can have a combined aggregate value of $10,000. There are individual limits based on the attachment type that are built into the coverage selection page. Now that we understand the difference between coverage A, B, and attachments, let's take a look at a few mobile/manufactured homes to determine which coverage applies. Question for everyone: is this a single wide or a double wide? Does anybody want to take a guess? All right, looks like we got some good folks out there. You are correct. This is a single wide, ladies and gentlemen. There is a weather-tight room which has been attached and an open porch with awnings. So as you can see, there are two different roof lines here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the main living area on the right-hand side. Then you can see there's a separate roof line where the manufacturer has added on the weather-tight room after delivery. Here's another example for you guys. So sorry, those of my agents that know me know I like to test. So here's another test question for you guys. What type of attachments does this unit have? All right. So we got some good folks going on. Yes, you are correct. I can see the unit has an attached carport, screen room, and for those of you that can't see, in the back right-hand corner, there is a shed in the backhand corner. So this was actually pulled from, I believe, an inspection in our file, and even for us, it was a little bit difficult to see. So make sure you always question the insured, make sure that everything's lining up with what's on the property appraiser's website. Next one, guys. This one's a beauty. Is this shed attached or unattached? Perfect. And I'm sure you can all see the screen room, which does appear to be attached at the front. So as she put, the shed is unattached, and we need to be listed under coverage B. The screen room in the front appears to be attached to the unit and would need to be scheduled as an attachment. Okay, here's another one. What type of attachments does this unit have? Brian. Okay, this is a single wide, ladies and gentlemen, with an attached weather-tight room and metal awnings. One thing I will throw out while everybody's answering is remember the values, the limits for your attachments are based on the year of the attachment, not the mobile home. Sometimes they've made changes, or remember 2004, 2005, some things came off, some things didn't. So always make sure that you check because you might be able to get a little more value if they're a newer attachment. What questions does everyone have this afternoon? Park model versus travel trailer. Oh, the infamous park model. Okay, guys, I can't really see over to the right, so I'm gonna have to rely on Stacy and everyone else. Travel trailer. Basically, it boils down to, my understanding is that it boils down to the title. It gets a little tricky with us because sometimes the state will classify a park model as a PM, and we actually won't. The other issue is that we find a lot of travel trailers, fifth wheels, etc., sometimes get wrapped up in this as well. The best way that I can tell you all to determine this is that the actual title, if I remember correct, will actually say mobile home. Secondly, it will have a shingle roof, a permanently attached shingle roof or a tile or a metal roof. Third, it will have permanently fixed plumbing. Fourth, it will have a permanently fixed air conditioning unit. Those typically are the four best identifiers with us. We used to, and I will ask Jennifer to upload a bulletin that we've had under the bulletin section, which kind of gives three pictures of what we consider a travel trailer, or excuse me, a park model to be, in lieu of what the state considers a park model to be. So we'll try and get that posted back up for you guys. I think it's a really good way to determine. So title will say mobile home, shingle roof, permanent plumbing, as well as a permanent air conditioning unit. Let's see, what else do we have, guys? PowerPoint automatically email to us. No, Giselle, but they will, if you put in a request, we'll go ahead and send that over to you. Do you have any unattached structures or values not more than their deductible? Do you have to add unattached structures? Danielle, if you don't want to schedule the attachments, that's fine, but there won't be any coverage. So even if the value is below the deductible, well, actually, hold on, because you're right, but you never know. That's a good question. Stacy, do you want to respond to that one? If the deductible is below the value, would you think they should still need to schedule that? I don't want to put myself in a neo position for you guys. Can we insure a little lower than your guidelines? Sometimes they seem high. Okay, Larry, it's my understanding you can go 5,000 above the cost estimator, and with regards to, and if it has replacement cost on the dwelling, it must be at 100% replacement cost, ladies and gentlemen. If it is actual cash value, it is my understanding that you can lower the coverage A value by 20%. So for those of you, if it's replacement on the dwelling, must be 100%. If it's actual cash value, you can lower it by 20% of the coverage A. On new homes. Let's see. Sorry, guys. You guys are going really quick with the questions. Are there any mobile homes that we won't write? Basically, as long as it's a single wide or a double wide, if it's a single wide, 8-foot width, or at least 12 foot. Other than that, guys, as long as it's not a fifth wheel or travel trailer, you shouldn't have a problem. No, we won't take any unskirted mobile homes. Where are you at, Reagan? On the first quote screen, please discuss. Oh, that's for the wind HUD load zone, guys. Okay, guys, Reagan has a good question with regards to actually the wind HUD load zone requirements. For those of you, if you look in the manual, you'll see that you actually have the option to go above what the limits show on our quick looks. But in order to do that, the home must be built to a wind HUD load zone 2 or 3, and must be installed on a permanent concrete foundation. So you can go above the maximum coverage limits of 125, etc., if the home meets that criteria. Lucy, rentals are available, but remember we will only allow up to 6 months for a rental, and the insured must reside in the home at least 3 months. So the maximum would be 6 months. The insured would have to reside in it for a minimum of 3 months as well. What's the oldest mobile home? Marisol. And the oldest mobile home that we will write now in our standard program would be 1986 in the senior standard program. The rest of the standard programs, Signature Adult, Family Park, Approved Subdivision, as well as private property, are all 94 and newer only. And then, of course, we do have some availability in the DP market, which goes back to 1970, but that's an X-Win product targeting GL shoppers. Yes, it is more stated value, guys. Brian, I don't foresee it. It's something that we do bring up during our marketing meetings, but unfortunately, due to the liability exposures typically associated with private property risk, we're not comfortable with offering that higher limit. Even in my days, I always run into the cage with pit bulls, auto salvage yards that they don't tell us about. I've even had some with daycares, etc. So in the past, we found a lot of exposures associated with that. So that's why 50,000 is the max that we can get right now. But I assure you, we do bring it up each quarter when we have our meeting. Yes, Cindy says some counties may be limited by age. For those of you that may be quoting in the southwest corridor along the coast, it is limited to 1994 and newer only. Outside of those counties, it is going to follow standard guidelines. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Stacy responded to that. Can you tell everyone that I'll post the PowerPoint? Everyone, just want to let you know that Jennifer's going to post the PowerPoint presentation under the bulletin section, and I'll go ahead and put in a request for her to also post the pictures and the definitions of what we consider a park model. That should definitely be a very helpful tool. What other questions do you have, ladies and gentlemen? Correct, Reagan. As Reagan said, ladies and gentlemen, you can see Adult Park is classified as a community that is for residents 50 years of age and older only. What awnings covered? Yes, awnings are covered. Stacy, can you go back to that slide for me regarding the awnings?
I think this one is showing that about the awnings.
Okay. Let's see. Yes, of course, Carol. Always, we are in Florida. Unfortunately, age of roof is always a factor, and of course, in today's times and with what's going on with assignment of benefits, it's definitely even getting trickier. Um, Age of roof, if it's metal, it is unlimited. If it is asphalt shingle or tar and gravel, then it needs to be 12 years and newer. Sherry, A. Awnings are under A, ladies and gentlemen. Rubber. Oh, Danielle, are you talking about the epoxy membranes that they're using nowadays, or the old ones that they were using 10, 15 years ago on mobile homes? Inspections are not required, Carol. The only time we require an inspection is on our DP program, and if they want wind on that. But remember, the DP is really designed to be X wind for GL shoppers only. What type of inspections are required? New roof. If it's the epoxy membrane, I know that I'm getting some success on the homeowner side, the site build side. So I would submit the risk to underwriting. It shouldn't be an issue, but remember there are levels on this in 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, 20-year, and 25-year warranties on those epoxy membranes, guys. And I can tell you my neighbor next door was a little thrifty, we'll say, and put on the 5-year last year. I can tell you the past 3 weekends he has been reapplying the epoxy membrane. So the 5-year definitely doesn't hold up that well. So from any loss standpoint, I would definitely try and get the insured to, excuse me, try and get the 10, 15, or 20, 25 if you can. Looking at product overview, pull up the QuickBook guides, thank you. No limit credits. No, unfortunately, where the underwriting guidelines. Jody, I think they got to you. Can we talk about awnings again? Michelle, yes, under coverage A, and that if they're metal, if they're cloth or canvas, then there's no coverage. And hold on, guys, I'm getting a text, so hopefully I didn't make an error in this. FYI, the difficult for errors. Shed. Ooh. Ooh. Shoot. Kelly, right now we don't offer the alarm credit on mobile homes, but we'll certainly be sure if we can see if we can bring that up in the next marketing meeting. Worst thing we can do is throw it on the table and they can tell us no, but we typically keep asking for stuff every quarter until they finally say yes. So we'll throw it into the mix. Where can you also find? You can also find. Okay, and oh. Okay, guys, back to Michelle. My error, the awnings must be scheduled separately. So my apologies, guys. See, we're all learning today. And I've been doing this for 10 years. So the attachments must be scheduled. Carmen, financial responsibility. Older mobile homes, 10 feet are not acceptable. Correct, Dina. 12-foot width or more unless it's a park model. When owner rents out home 6 months or less per rules, does the policy provide landlord liability? No, Angela, no landlord liability. How about financial responsibility? We can try, Carmen. Certainly. Is there an issue with the rates that we have available to you now? Or are you finding that other companies are coming in cheaper than us and you're losing risk? Or you guys just trying to get the premium even lower? Ken, no, unfortunately, there hasn't been any progress on the credit card fees. Would there be a possibility of having a quote page in PDF format? I believe there is a way to convert Kia to get your quote to convert to a PDF format. There is a program for that that you guys can download. Okay, the PDF working. We'll be able to schedule more than 3 in the future. Larry, is this regards to you must be regarding the DP program, I'm assuming, because um, you can schedule up to 6 attachments. Hold on, guys, I'm trying to get through these. This is also homes are attached and metal covered by coverage. Jennifer, attachments, metal must be scheduled, cloth canvas we don't provide coverage to. Yeah, unfortunately, Reagan, we won't eat the fee. We kind of have an old school philosophy. We collect money to pay claims and to build up our reserves and our surplus. So we unfortunately have the vendor which charges us the fees. So it's not something that we can get by, but we can certainly work on seeing if we can get those a little lower in the future. Oh, for those of you that can see, Jennifer says that we're currently looking for an alternate vendor. Okay. Well, so far, I think it's been a learning experience for all of us. Even I learned something today, ladies and gentlemen. What other questions do we have? Because I know you guys were typing quicker than I could read. Did I miss anybody? Reagan, of course, but we would like to stay in business, love. Yes, for those of you, if you're not aware, the insureds can go online and make their own payment. So they can upload their own check via the website or their own credit card via the website. Let's see. On my system, I only have. How do I quote DP? Jamie, you'll need to reach out to your marketing rep and see if they're appointing any agents for the DP program in your area. Let's see. If you guys want to get there, there's Mitchell Rocks. Thanks, Mitchell Stacy. HO4 on mobile homes. John, I'm hoping by the end of the year, maybe first quarter. I know we're going to work on an HO4. And so far, they've been pretty receptive to our request for an HO4 mobile, since we know right now only Citizens and IB Green are the only market. So it is something we're pushing for, and so far they're receptive. So we'll just keep pushing, and hopefully by the end of the year, first quarter, we might be able to have an HO4 for mobiles. It does seem to be a really big growing niche. What about HO4? What is the max limit you can schedule awnings for? Amanda, that would be another structure, so 500 would be the max. We're looking at that. Can't hear you. Linda, can you hear me now, Linda? Also, keep your eyes out, guys. DP3 for site-built homes should be out in the next few weeks at most. Should be a really great product. We're definitely going to go after new home construction. That's going to be the niche on that one.
You have to check with Mitchell on that one. Are you available for bar mitzvahs and weddings?
Yes, but I do charge a lot. My agents will tell you I'm not cheap. Brian, I think did I miss anything, Stacy?
No, I think you got it. I think I figured out my microphone issue. I had a new headset which was not working properly.
Cool, yeah, because you're really loud now, girl.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I could give you vendor more businesses. Yeah, hey guys, if you guys have any vendors that you're wanting us to look at, I would email Jennifer. Her email address is Jennifer, JANNIFER, S as in Sousa, at westpointuw.com. Hey guys, Jennifer's got a great point for those of you that were asking earlier about if the value of the attachment is below the deductible. Remember, when the wind blows, almost all the attachments will come off, unfortunately, not just one. So remember that deductible only gets applied once. So if all 6 attachments blow off, they've only got that one deductible for the attachments. So that's also a really good point that Jennifer just made. So see, we all just learned something else. Linda, click on the screen. Multiple. You have good timing. Sound great.
Yep. I had to put Mitch in the hot seat.
Yeah, she totally did, guys. I was not prepped for this. Are you going on the road, Brian? I don't know what conversation that is, but thank you. Great information. Anybody else got anything?
I think we're good. And the replay will be available. The link you use to log on to the live webinar, you can actually use that link again to watch a replay. I think we're good.
Perfect. Okay, guys, if you guys have any more questions, email Stacy, Guy, or myself.
All right.
We'll be more than happy to help you all.
Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for joining us, everyone.